Media is consumed the world over by literally billions of people. And I think that it's really important for people to understand how much sacrifice goes into that one 40-minute episode of television.
The working conditions are just not sustainable.
2 people accidentally shot on a movie set by a prop gun. We need help immediately.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Sorry.
Just relax. Just relax.
So scared. I'm
You're all right. Just relax.
When people rush or get tired, bad things happen.
Nobody needs to die in this industry. It's TV.
I'm a child of immigrants. For me, watching movies growing up, I learned a lot about American culture and English language that way. I was watching Grease when I was 5 or 6, and then Pulp Fiction when I was like 9 or 10.
I've just always been captivated by old Hollywood. The gorgeous suits and dresses that the women wore of that era always mesmerized me.
It's a perfect career for me because I'm a collector. I love things. I've been collecting things since I was a kid. My garage is like full of just character clues to future films.
I got a thrift store Super 8 camera and a little editor. We did a film noir where like my girlfriend at the time like hung herself. Absolutely bat crazy stuff from like a bunch of teenage punk rockers who watched too many old movies.
I remember spending the entire weekend running around the house making movies. We were chasing each other with like video game guns. My brother, who is quite a bit older, he had scored all the things that we had shot with the score from the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Oh my God, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. You have to show me how you did that.
I remember seeing Sally Mankey's name in the credits and feeling like a woman cut this film, was so brutally violent and enjoyable, was like, oh, I wish I could do that someday.
People come to Hollywood with these dreams and these ideas, and it's very glamorous, and they just want to be around actors. They'll do whatever it takes to, get in the business. So there's a lot of abuse that can happen.
IATSE is the overall umbrella for all the film unions. Like any union, they're supposed to help us collectively bargain for healthy, safe working conditions, proper pay. In all honesty, I don't think the union right now does any of that particularly well. This is a working class, blue collar gig for the most part. We're trying to hold on to a middle class lifestyle.
As a costume designer, I'm often on a weekly rate. I could be working all day, every day. It doesn't matter how many hours I work, I'm gonna get the same amount of money.
Whether it takes us 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, or 27 hours, we work until we get the job done.
And when you're in it, you're just in it. You put the blinders on and you get the job done. You don't even really understand what it's doing to your mental and your physical health. I will never forget the first opportunity that I had to edit a feature film. The director would knock on my door at about 9 a.m. She would stay until about 1 a.m. And we did that 7 days a week for about 2 months straight. The hours and the stress and the pressure and the relentlessness of it with having no recovery time essentially got to the point where I was suicidally depressed, not to the point where I was willing to take action on it, but very much thinking on a daily basis, I really don't want to be alive anymore and I don't think that I can do this. How in the world am I going to do this for the next 40 years of my life if I can't even get to next Friday?
You drive like an hour to work, an hour back. It's like everybody else commuting to the suburbs, and your 60-hour week is now an 80-hour week with driving. It's exhausting. I've lost friends because they could not make it home.
I had booked this movie that was set to shoot in Joshua Tree. After being up there for a month and a half and having back-to-back night shoots, I was pretty depleted and just exhausted. And I did that drive back to LA. Eventually, I ended up falling asleep at the wheel, and I ran my car straight into 2 parked cars. My car flew up over them both and landed upside down. That next day when I woke up in the hospital, I got a call from my producer, and they were asking about the clothing that I had in my car.
Two of the women from the art department were carpooling, and they rolled their Jeep on the way back to work the next morning. And one of them died. We took 5 minutes, I think, to just sort of bow our heads, and I don't think we even made it to 5 because they wanted to get back to work. We don't want to miss that sunrise shot.
The concern was not for me. That's what was clear. The concern was, we don't want to have to eat these charges on this missing wardrobe.
It was the first moment where I realized that nobody in charge actually cared. They always say on film sets, oh, we're a family, we're a family, we're a family. And they, there's this certain truth to that.
Whenever you're ready, Bobby. 46, take 2. Mark.
But the other hard truth is that you're a line item and you are replaceable. And it hurts.
The industry has absolutely no incentive to change the expectations because somebody will always meet them and somebody will always allow themselves to be exploited.
You learn how to set boundaries, or you end up just losing your mind.
All right, now let's try it again.
I don't even want to begin to explain what my darker union brothers and sisters and kin have gone through, because when you're blacker or when you're browner, you have far more difficulties in establishing boundaries without direct confrontation.
Action.
I've lost jobs for speaking up.
It's still such a straight white male business.
We fight for so much equality on screen, and yet when I want that kind of treatment off screen, I'm pariahed.
Members are afraid to call it in because getting blacklisted is a very real thing. It happens. I know people who've been blacklisted.
It takes something dramatic to happen for people to actually shift the culture.
Our best public health experts at CDC say that large crowds and events are the biggest contributors to the spread of COVID-19.
Movie theaters have been closed around the world.
Look, I'm hoping that by late August, early September, we'll be able to see some productions get back to work.
Everyone got to a point with COVID where you stopped working.
Happy birthday to you.
And you had a second to reconnect with your friends and your family and yourself.
One of the biggest eye-openers for people was one of the simplest things, which is I'm actually getting sleep. And I'm realizing that a full night's sleep makes me a completely different person. And do I really want to go back to what people used to call normal?
Things like IA Stories came out on Instagram where departments were talking to each other about their suffering. It's like the perfect storm of influences to make everybody go, no, we're not doing that anymore.
In less than 48 hours, 60,000 entertainment industry workers are set to go on strike.
Makeup artists, animators, technicians, cinematographers, and more voted overwhelmingly to strike.
Seeking pay increases for its lowest paid members, new protections for meal breaks and rest periods, and pay scale increases on streaming projects that currently offer lower wages.
Netflix began offering subscribers the option to stream in 2007. At the time, IATSE was like, okay, we'll create this contract for like new media. We understand you guys are small and you don't have enough money as the big studios, so we'll give you guys a break on like pension and health and hourly and all that. We'll come back to this in a few years and see where you guys are at, and then we can renegotiate. Streaming has become, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just everybody should know this. The tech companies are ruling the world. This was something that needed to be addressed that wasn't addressed. The unions used a lot of, from what I saw, fear-mongering, saying, if you don't accept this, you're going to lose it and it's going to be worse. And people got scared because people need, you know, they got mouths to feed.
We staunched the bleeding, but you have not healed the wound. And I think we should have just gone on strike and shut the whole thing down.
To be honest, after the deal was struck, I haven't noticed any changes at all on set. So unfortunately, it's probably gonna have to be something tragic that happens that hopefully will push things forward.
When we look at the exploitation and the conditions of working in Hollywood and the fact that people are treated as expendable widgets, I don't think that right now that's a flaw in the system. I think it's part of the system, and I think that's what needs to change.
I don't know if I want to go back into the chaos, and it's always chaos, like no matter what.
Knowing that the film industry has some drawbacks at times and can be quite taxing on the human spirit. I know all of that, but I'm so passionate about it, that's out the window.
If I can be a link or a lifeline to somebody that feels like they can tell their story because they see someone like me working on it, I want to be there to do that for them.
I want the union to start instituting like consequences to people's sexist and racist and abusive behavior. I want to make sure that people coming up behind me don't get screwed. This reality doesn't have to be like this.